Hello again, I'm Tatiana, the eternally exhausted artist from Spain. So today I have a different type of video for you. This is a video that I've been meaning to do since the beginning of the year, but due to time constraints I haven't been able to do it properly. And I don't want to call it a series, but it's going to involve many of my future videos that I show here. So basically what I want to do is I want to start getting rid of most of the art supplies that I have. There's many of them that I've had for a really long time, and this first video is just going to be the intro to that. So basically just let you know where I stand with my current supply stash. So I've come up with a plan of action as follows. I started with my unfinished sketchbooks, the one that I wasn't so keen on using anymore, whether it's the low quality of the paper or the binding that has me not grabbing them anymore. So I needed to be done with those. I decided that once I was through with them, I would move on to the larger paper. Again, using up the ones that I've acquired ages ago, as well as the student grade ones. And I'll try not to limit the medium I use, but try to go for the less expensive ones, or those that I don't particularly like. But since the ultimate goal is to stay creative, if I feel like using the good stuff, then I'll go for it. Also, I'm not going to create a list nor an inventory, because when I tried, I became too overwhelmed with it. I am recording this audio on the 2nd of July 2025. I am aware that this will be a long process, but I don't want to spend my whole life on it. So I am setting my limit to the end of this year, so 2025. I'll be sharing said process in various videos I plan on posting throughout the year. I know I'm posting the first video in the middle of the year, but like I mentioned earlier, I was unable to do it sooner. So having said that, just sit back and relax while I take you along a journey that I am uncertain I'll be able to finish. And so far I have this one here, which is an art creation, the talents one, and I have this much left on this one, or this much left. So that's one. Then we have the next one, same type of notebook except in portrait mode. You can see art creation talents, and this one is more filled up, and this one should be easy to do because I just have a few pages left in there. Yep. The next one that I plan on filling up is this Escoda. It's a watercolor sketchbook. The Escoda Travel Journal Series, 200 GSM, 60 pages, fine grain. I don't know if it has any cotton in it, and I started it in the 25th of June 2023. I still have a long way to go. Yes, I have more than half. Another watercolor sketchbook by Hannemühle. There's the Hannemühle logo. And this one is Hannemühle cold pressed, 100% cotton, 250 GSM, 60 pages. So this one's slightly bigger than the other one. And I also have a long ways to go. So I have all this, this amount of sketchbook to go through. Okay, so this is my visual journal by Strathmore. I got this in 2019, and I'm not a big fan of the paper, so I haven't really used much of it. I don't have that many pages left. I just have 2. So this should be easy. And then I also have this Fabriano Artistico 100% cotton, 200 grams fine pressed. The paper is much thinner than the 300 grams that I'm used to, so I've not really used this much. And I only have about 5 pages left. I've had this one also for quite a while now, probably 2019, but I need to use this up as well. And then I have this one by Rembrandt that I really do like this paper. This is the pages that were left on June 2023. So there's only 4 left. So 100% cotton, cold pressed. I started this in October 2019. have saved most of the stuff that I've done in here. As the cover said, I only have 4 pages left. I like this one because the texture is almost canvasy. It has a nice texture to it. So this one should also be used up. And then I also have this very cheap watercolor sketchbook by a brand called Artix, made by Main Paper in Toledo. It's a Spanish brand. And I don't have that many left either. The last one I have is a sketch of my cat, which I didn't finish. So October last year. And I have a few pages to go, so we'll finish this one as well. So, what do we have? A whole bunch of notebooks to go through this year. Okay, so I thought I would talk to you a bit about this sketchbook here now. Yeah, this is the one that is really bad quality, so I honestly wouldn't consider this a watercolor suitable paper because it doesn't take water very well. And that is why when I got it back in 2023, I used it just to do some scribbles maybe, and I did this while I was recovering from surgery. But also mentally it helped me a lot. And here's where I started experimenting a bit more with watercolors. I believe these ones, because of the color, I think these are the Derwent Inktense bars. It was the only way that I could get such an intense color. And as you can see, the results are not good. Like I said, the colors don't blend, and it's not the fault of the paints, it's the fault of the paper. So I tried experimenting a lot with different types, always trying to find a use for it. Now these are soft pastels, didn't work very well. And this was one study that I did for a painting that I already have in watercolor, like this. Another study that never turned into anything. And this is still 2023. This was colored pencils, again watercolors. And here I started using both sides of the paper. So the paper on this notebook is a bit strange. On this side, which is the side that you should be supposed to use, it's very smooth. It's almost as if it were hot press. And then on the other side, it has a texture. So I thought maybe what they did was maybe they set it together the other way around. And yeah, so I tried it here. This is watercolor as well, and I used masking fluid to preserve these areas. And it also doesn't work very well. I mean, I like this painting. I like how it looks, but it's all purely by accident. I wasn't able to control anything really. So if I wanted to have this outcome again, I wouldn't be able to recreate it. And then I tried more wet experimentation here, and I believe I was using inks for this, watercolor inks. Yeah, I don't know. I was never able to get used to this paper. And this is still 2023. Now here I tried some sketches. At the end of 2023, I started doing sketches about trees, forest sketches. And I like this one. I really like how this one turned out. But I remember still, like, even though I like it, the paper was a struggle. And I don't like struggling when I'm painting. I want everything to flow. The same with this one. I like how deep the sky ended up being, but I did use a lot of pigment for this. A lot. Now here I did gouache. And I have to be honest with you, I don't really like using gouache. I never really got into it. It's a medium that I have a bit of struggle controlling. I don't like the fact that when you try to put a layer on top, you will remove the layer underneath. And I know that there is a specific way to use them. And I'm not the biggest fan. As you can see, my results also aren't that great. However, for this paper, I think gouache seems to be the best medium that you can use. So if you look at this one, I mean, in the video it looks beautiful. It doesn't look too bad on the paper itself. There's a lot of work put into it to get the blending correct. And I like how it turned out, but still I don't like the experience of using gouache. Here I went back on the watercolors, and I like how how it looks, but it's because of the paper. And again, I wouldn't be able to recreate it, and it's still a pain in the butt. Now this I showed you in a previous video. I did it in June 2024, so last year. And this is acrylics. And then I stopped using it. I did, however, back in October, yeah, that's true. I started a sketch of one of my cats, of Chibi, but I never continued with it, and I didn't paint it. So I decided to finish it once and for all. And of course I had forgotten how annoying this paper is. And I went with my watercolors, and the first thing that I noticed was that the pigment wouldn't flow, you know? It's like you can't really do wet on wet. You can't really do anything. But still, I tried my best with watercolors. And then I used colored pencils to do the lines here, like these little details of the light, and put some more detailing in, and also a bit of watercolor with a brush. So I painted this on the 4th of June, which was last week. And I, of course, ended up hating the paper again. And then I used it for a sketch for a personal project that I'm working on. So this sketch is going to remain like that, unfinished. And then I decided to try my watercolor brushes. These are water-soluble markers, basically. And the tip is also as if it were a brush. So, and I also did this sketch while I was watching a movie. So not really inspired. It's just to get paint on paper and use my supplies one way or the other. So now I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets left. Oh yeah, and what I'll do is I will use both sides of the paper for this. I've waffled enough for today. Anyway, speak to you later. At the time of scripting this, I have already filled up 4 sketchbooks, including a couple that I didn't get to show you on this video. In the following weeks, I'll be posting some of the art I create throughout this project. I hope this series will inspire you to also get out your old art supplies and start creating. There's no better time than now. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and if you liked the video and haven't done so already, consider subscribing to my channel. Have a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.